Welcome to EP Daily. Today on the show, we've got the latest on the Xbox One backwards compatibility in the rundown.
Plus, some unlucky boys become dinner for the undead in Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
All right, Scouts, let's kick some zombie ass.
And then Brose and Ben Silverbro have a review of Broforce. Also coming up, Marissa and I zip our way through the new Chibi Robo game. Steve and Raju are armed with a high-tech armband and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games. I'm your host, Victor Lucas, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day. We're about to experience something amazing that's called the Rundown. The Xbox One is about to get a lot better. Microsoft has revealed that it will release the final version of the new Xbox One experience to all users on November 12th. It's a redesigned user interface that's faster and has better integration with Windows 10, but the biggest new feature is that it makes the Xbox One backwards compatible with the Xbox 360. Not all 360 games will be supported, but Microsoft promises there will be more than 100 before the end of the year, including big titles like Mass Effect and the Gears of War games. The new Xbox One experience and backwards compatibility were announced at E3 earlier this year, and there have been beta tests for the last few months. YouTube viewers are about to start seeing red. The video streaming site is getting an optional subscription service called YouTube Red. It costs $10 a month and lets you watch any YouTube video you want without any ads. YouTube is also partnering with content creators like PewDiePie and College Humor to create original programming that will only be available to subscribers. YouTube Red launches today in the US, and the original shows will start rolling out next year. There have been rumors about YouTube getting a premium subscription service for years, and rival streaming sites have already implemented similar services. Some big goings-on in the tech industry in the rundown today. What do you think about this Xbox One new experience coming, Mr.
Victor
Scott
Lucas,
Jones?
I am so glad you asked. I have mixed feelings about the backwards compatibility. You place a premium on that, but I don't necessarily. I have a huge Xbox 360 catalog, and you know what? I tried to load those games up, or I did about a month ago, and they didn't work, and the official party line is they will work eventually. Yes. So I'm kind of waiting patiently for some of those discs to become relevant again.
It is kind of crazy how complicated it is, but I think, you know, every existing Xbox One user should be incredibly happy with this.
Excited. There's console news. More news, console world. I want it.
Well, you can count on that. You can also count on more news coming from YouTube, who has been killing it in the gaming space. They launched their YouTube Gaming. Now they've got YouTube Red. They want people to subscribe, and there's a lot of skepticism. What do you think? Do you think people are going to subscribe? They're going to spend their $10 a month to get ad-free YouTube videos?
I don't know. Everybody's got a little taste at this point. Everybody wants a little piece of my wallet. Everybody's getting a piece of my wallet. But you know what? I like YouTube a lot. I feel like there's a lot of interesting content on YouTube.
It's amazing, yeah.
But I'm so sick of being force-fed these ads. Every single video on YouTube makes me watch an ad before I get that 4 seconds with the skip ad notice in the bottom right-hand corner. What about you? What do you think?
Well, I think it's, you know, I think we're sort of coming onto a new day. I think that there's a lot of ad blocking going on, a lot of ad skipping going on, and, you know, content creators have got to find some ways to kind of get paid to deliver this content out there, and I think YouTube is trying a new strategy, and they're so big and they have so much content that this actually might work for them, but one thing that they will be able to do from doing this is learn a lot. They'll be able to get a lot of user analytics and a lot of sort of data on how many people are going to do this. So I think eventually subscription is going to be a big part of all of our media.
Why can't our show be on YouTube? I want it on there.
Our show is on YouTube.
Can we put it on there twice now?
We put on everything that we do on YouTube.
All right, I got to start watching it more.
EP Network TV.
Okay.
Is how you find it.
I got it.
It's a little complicated.
Got it.
All right, well, let's move on. We're going to be taking a look now behind the scenes at Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Even though it's a zombie movie, it's very much a movie about friendship, about the value of friendship, which I think is really important and special.
A sheep pen knot. It's impossible to break.
Pretty handy.
I'm a scout.
Like an actual scout?
Yeah.
Chris has done a really great job balancing the horror with the comedy because, I mean, the comedy in it is very dry. It's very dry and smart and sarcastic humor. It's not slapstick.
Wait, you're the stripper.
Cocktail waitress.
What is going on?
Meeting Chris, I mean, some of the pre-production stages, he laid down this line of, I want you guys to have the freedom to kind of play with these characters. And I'm somebody who really loves improv, and I love just kind of going off the script and diving into the character in that way. And he's given us that artistic freedom, which is, it's really satisfying.
You know, tonight's the secret party, right? Everybody except the douchebags and the neckerchiefs will be going.
The storyline is kind of about 3 high school boys who have been Boy Scouts their whole life and been their best friends, and as they're starting to get into the real stuff in high school and the parties and the girls and wanting to become a man and such like that, and we wanted to make like something that was scary, that scared a person, but as well as made them laugh at the same time. But in real retrospect, when I first talked to Chris about it, we were very level on, we want to make these kids true friends.
What the hell is going on down there?
We're fine! Everything's under control!
At the same time, they're kind of trying to become part of the cool group and make it to the big party of the year and stuff, and then everything goes awry with an attack of zombies.
Carter, the town's deserted.
Dude, look.
What?
The bouncer, he's gone. We should sneak in.
Dude, there's like nobody here.
The makeup was just fabulous. My first zombie, transformation into zombie, was fabulous.
You tried to eat me!
The movie's got heart, and I think that's what most of our audience is going to be surprised by, is how much they actually care about these characters.
Augie.
Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse comes out this weekend, just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Halloween, and I'm looking forward to seeing Ben and Jose after the break. They've got the latest version of Broforce.
Hi, I'm Jim Steranko, artist, writer, designer, historian. I'll quit there. One of my fondest memories ever is striking up a friendship with Ralph McQuarrie, who was the artist who designed so many of the great Star Wars elements. He was just a magnificent visionary. And I lay a lot of the success of the Star Wars film on Ralph's work. He had a certain quality of magic that made those films come to life. Love you, Ralph.
What?
Listen to them. They're dying, R2. Curse my metal body. I wasn't fast enough. It's all my fault.
Oh man, Marissa Roberto, I got to tell you, I think that's my favorite Star Wars memory so far. We've had so many good ones.
You say that about all the memories.
No, that one was really fantastic, for
I don't
sure.
know if I should trust you, but you know what? I'm going to, because you're my bro. Guess what? We got a couple more bros joining us right now. It's Jose and Ben. They're broing out with the final version of Broforce.
You're my bro.
Aw.
What's it up, maggots? It's going to take more than holding the trigger to win this war. I'm here to show you some advanced tactics.
Me and my bro Zay taking a look at a game that I'm pretty sure you designed, my friend. It's Broforce time!
Well, you know something, Silver Bro? I've been waiting for this game for a very long time, and I mean, come on. Literally one of the greatest games to come into the atmosphere in the world we live in.
I don't know when you found time to design a video game, because I'm pretty sure if you were gonna make a game, this is the game you would make.
Broforce. Broforce is all about shutting down the devil. That's right. Just like any other good-blooded American would want to do, you have to go through these worlds and take down Lucifer, Satan himself.
Canadian too. It's a side-scrolling, old-school throwback, again, 16-bit kind of game.
Yeah.
We throw that word around a lot. But in this case, what's really interesting about it is you've got a wide assortment of bro characters to play as, and they're all based off of classic action stars, and not just classic action archetypes, like literally characters, like RoboCop.
Yeah.
Rambo.
Rambo.
Bromando.
Bronan the Barbarian. The Brobarian.
You got Bro in Black.
Mr. Andrew Bro. Indiana Brones.
Indiana Brones.
What?
There's Judge Bro or Bro
Yeah,
Dredd
Bro.
or something. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's just a bottomless well of these characters, and especially at the beginning when you're like unlocking one after another.
I would
you're
get
just
excited.
like, holy Brogiver! Oh my God, that's rad! Like it just keeps going.
Yeah.
I haven't played a game where every time I unlock the character, I have to say the name of the character.
B.A. Baracus.
Yeah, B.A. Baracus. You're like, yeah, Bronando. You're like, yeah, this is awesome. I love Bronan.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the characters, okay, it's obviously Brogiver is probably my least favorite. Indiana Brones on his whip, his special is the gun because he hardly ever uses the gun. I feel like they're a little bit underpowered, but you know what? You can't always be a super powerful bro.
Well, the Brocketeer's not very good either. The Brocketeer, he's not very good. But some of the characters are great. The way that you experience these characters, to me, is really what makes this game sing, because you don't just choose a character at the beginning of the level. You are given a character, and you're like, shooting dudes, and you're killing things, and you're blowing stuff up, and then you'll see a little POW in the corner. Well, if you save that POW, it gives you an extra life, and that's important because one bullet can kill you. Sure. So it's all about trying to amass these lives so that as you die through the course of the level, and the levels are pretty short, but they get very hard, you can continue and actually make it through. However, when you unlock one of these POWs, it's a bro, and it turns you into, randomly, a different bro. So you might have a bro you like, and you're like, I don't know if I want to rescue that POW because I'm bro in black and I am blowing shit up with my crazy cricket gun.
And then you're like, you know what? All of a sudden, I want to save that character, Brodator. You're like, yes, now I get to be... I mean, there's just something special about it, Like, it seems like the easiest concept. Like, you just give me different characters, go through the world, you save the American flag, pops up at your checkpoint, and you stop the devil at the end of every level. What's not to love about that? But then you just get, I don't know, I just found myself so invested to where I only need to save 14 more bros before I get a new bro.
Right.
I might as well keep going until I save all the 14 more bros.
Unlocking characters becomes such an important part of the game because you want to see how creative they're getting, what the next bro's going to be. There's so many, it just feels like a bottomless well of bros. But more so than that, what I really appreciated about Broforce was its destructible levels, because these levels are not, they look kind of just like Contra levels.
Everything in these worlds are destructible except for the American flag and the grandstand zone.
That's right. And you do blow everything up, including like waves and waves of bad guys who blow up in fountains of blood, and it looks ridiculous and is often hysterical. And it's just like pedal to the metal craziness.
And it definitely lived up to everything that I wanted a game called Broforce to be, and that's why I'm giving Broforce a 9 out of 10, bro. What are you giving it?
I'm giving it an 8.5. Those are good scores from Bro Views on the Run.
Yeah! Thanks, Jose and Ben. Am I a bro enough to be in that game?
Okay, only if you stop doing moves like that, Jones. Please, nobody wants to see that.
What?
Don't go anywhere, because when you come back, Jones is gonna stop doing that, and Vic's got a nice toy table for you.
Welcome back to EP Daily. It is time for a shiny new toy table. The toys I've assembled today are the Firefly figures that Funko has made as part of their Legacy collection. I was really surprised to see this because Firefly is an abandoned show, famously abandoned, but I was a huge fan of the show, and I love the Serenity movie, so I'm very happy that Funko has spent some of their vinyl pop money on making some Legacy-type figures here. Now, these aren't the best constructed action figures I've ever seen out there. I certainly would love larger scale Firefly figures, but I'm just gonna have to hold out hope for anything like that ever happening. You've got Captain Mal Reynolds, famously played by Nathan Fillion. I love that I have a Wash figure. This is Alan Tudyk. He did a fantastic job as that character. You get Kaylee the Mechanic, played by Jewel State in the show. She's terrific. Jane Cobb. And then you also get Zoe Washburn, played by Gina Torres, who was unbelievable in the show. Such a strong character. These are very cool. I'm glad to see that Funko is kind of spreading the love and trying to make a little bit nicer action figure assortment for fans like me out there. I think the best thing that you could say about these Firefly figures is that they exist. It's a great surprise. I'm glad they're in my collection. But now it's time for a toy of a different kind. It's the Myo gesture-controlled armband. Here's our review.
We've had our Wii remotes, we've had our Kinects, we've had weird stuff like Leap Motion. Today we're looking at the latest in motion control. This is the Myo Armband by Thalmic Labs. This is a plastic and metal cuff that fits on your arm and reads the movements of your arms and also the myoelectric impulses traveling through your muscles. And you use that to get, theoretically, Minority Report control over your computer. what do you think of the Myo Armband?
You know what? I've been following these guys. This is a Canadian company. I'm really glad that this thing is finally out.
Yes,
this is
it's been a while.
The first controls for this is potentially as a mouse or for presentations, but you can also fly drones with it. You can control your BB-8. You know, there are a number of things that you can do with it. And yet, it still feels like it needs to come a little bit further. And the other thing that I always come to back with this, I don't know who this is for.
Yeah, again, this is one of those devices that is a solution in search of a problem. I mean, if I'm sitting at my computer, I've got a perfectly good keyboard and mouse in front of me that I don't really need any sort of supplementary device for. The tech is there. It's made up of these segments that have stainless steel backs. They read the electrical current in your arm. They read the motion of your arm. They read the position of your arm. Some of it reads really well. Like there's this ridiculous crate whacker game that comes with it where you're bashing on crates with a mace. It reads sort of these broad motions really well, really accurately, like probably better than Kinect. But the thing is, when it comes to the fine fingertips, like there's different gestures you can do. There's this to synchronize your Myo, but it understands things like a fist, and this is a double tap. Not all of them work consistently enough. And the minute it doesn't work consistently, you're just like, why am I using this? If this isn't going to be a replacement or, a viable replacement for a device I'm already using, then it's a hard sell.
This is absolutely only for early adopters right now at this point, and it is just a neat gadget, and that's the reason to buy it right now. So, Steve, what are you going to give Myo?
It's got a ways to go. Right now, I think it's only a 6 out of 10.
6.5 for me.
All right there, boys. Interesting. We gotta go on to something a little more our speed. Let's go to Chibi Robo Ziplash.
Chibi Robo has been in a bunch of Nintendo games, but now he's in a 2D platformer. What did you think of Chibi Robo?
I don't really like picking up trash. And you do a lot of that in this game. And so I feel like a lot of the tasks become quite mundane and just things that I'm not really sure I want to even do. I love platforming and I love puzzles, but the puzzles weren't overly challenging and the platforming wasn't that exciting, but the character is so cute, so I'm rooting for this thing. I'm rooting for it all the way through. But it's just there's nothing there that really pulls me in, even though he has a little plug where he pulls things. It's not pulling me, Chibi Robo.
Well, the toughest thing is that this is coming on the heels of Wii U games like Yoshi's Woolly World and Super Mario Maker, which are phenomenal 2D action-adventure games. But the reason why I really like Ziplash is I'm a Bionic Commando junkie. I love Bionic Commando. I love the old classic Capcom games. I even didn't mind the 3D sort of redo that they did not too long ago. And Ziplash refers to this plug function that Chibi Robo has. He's able to swing and pull things down and extend the plug so that it'll bounce off of a bunch of objects and then solve puzzles and things like that. But the weirdest thing is that you have a roulette wheel that you spin to get onto the different courses that you have, and you can purchase numbers for the wheel so that you can try to, change the odds in your favor so that you can get to the exact level that you want. If you don't do that, though, you can repeat stages over and over again.
That is the most frustrating thing about this game, and I guess I put it out of my mind because you're right. You see that spinning wheel, and you wonder why is this even a thing? It's like the ending of a level tally total. Like you like these things at the end of levels, but we're used to seeing things at the end of levels, like Kirby's Epic Yarn, where you collect coins or whatever it is. But this one, you're just collecting the next level, and it might not even work in your favor. In fact, for me, it often didn't. I have a lot of great games out there right now, and this is not one of them. I'm sorry, Vic, this game is getting a 5.
A 5? Ooh, that's a little low. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Something about that little robot is just so cute. It's just a little strange the way he works that plug. Anyway, enough of that. Don't go anywhere because after the break, we've got your Twitter question of the day.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Scary movie time, boys and girls. Today we're talking about maybe my favorite film on this entire list. It's called Dead Alive. This is an early film directed by our old friend Peter Jackson. Some of the movies we've talked about on this list have no gore. This movie has all the gore you could ever want in any movie. Every ridiculous thing, every horrifying thing, you're going to see it here. The special effects are incredible. The performances are incredible. It also just feels like it's a film that's grounded in New Zealand. island proper, and I love that. I love the fairy tale quality of the film, and I love the playfulness. You can tell that Peter Jackson and his production team are just having a lot of fun here, and it's really strange to think of this movie being a precursor to the Lord of the Rings movies, to the Hobbit movies, to all the success that Peter Jackson would one day go on to enjoy. Dead Alive, on video, seek it out wherever you have to go, whatever you have to do. I dare you to see it.
Very brain-dead, spooky story, my friend.
Thank you very much. Now it's time for the Twitter question of the day. Today's question comes from our old friend, Coben Rules. What do you think of the fact that your friend, Elias Tufexis, he's referring to, is the lead actor in 2 AAA games coming out on the same day? Vic, does he even take your phone calls anymore?
No,
This
he
guy's
doesn't.
famous.
But 2 points. I love when Twitter questions name drop for me, saying that he's my friend. But he's got Primal, Far Cry Primal, and Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. 2 huge properties, and I'm very, very excited for Elias. He's fantastic, very talented. I just feel bad for Troy Baker, who apparently can't get any work anymore. He's probably in a food line somewhere.
You know what? I think those 2 guys should just strip to the waist and wrestle. And just who's the alpha male? Let's figure that out.
Well, we got to throw Nolan North in there and make it a turn. And Jennifer Hale.
That's a pay-per-view event. Yes, definitely.
Good question. If you've got one for us, make sure you head to our website, epn.tv.
And that's it for today's episode. But coming soon to EP Daily, we've got a review of Zelda Triforce Heroes. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you tomorrow.
EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox. EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Asphalt 8 Airborne, which you can play on your Android or iOS device for free right now.